How are you? Really? How are you? When we ask this question to people, people's automatic response is, yeah, I'm good, thanks, you. But we never take the opportunity to actually really check in with ourselves. And I call it taking two. So when people actually ask me, hey, how you going? Or how are you? Again, my automatic response is, yes, I'm great, thanks. How are you? But I also take 2 minutes to actually check in. How actually am I? Am I a bit tense around the shoulders? Have I got a bit of a headache? Am I happy? Am I driven? Am I excited? Like, how actually am I? Because we get so used to feeling what we're feeling, we don't actually know what we're feeling. We just think it's normal. And until we're aware of what we're feeling, we can't actually do anything about it if we want to feel different. So take two. Really check in when someone asks you, how are you? You can tell them. If it's a close friend, actually tell them, do you know what? I'm so excited. Or do you know what? I'm feeling a bit under the weather today. And if you feel that someone at work or one of your friends or anyone close to you, and they say, yeah, I'm good, say, sure, you just don't seem yourself today. Is there anything that you want to talk about? Do you want to go for a coffee? Do you want to go for a walk? If you externalize what they're internalizing, because a lot of the time we just pass it off as being normal, we ignore it, and we just try and carry on with our day. And I did this with a client this week they just got back from the Christmas break, and I said, how are you? And he said, yeah, I'm good. I've had a break. And I could tell immediately that he was under the weather, that he wasn't feeling himself. It was almost like an emotional clog that he didn't even see that he'd seen. And I said, oh, really? I said, oh, you don't seem yourself. You seem a bit preoccupied or a bit under the weather. Is everything okay? I said, just take a minute. And he did, and he took a minute and he said, I actually do feel quite under the weather. He said, I didn't pick that up before, but I do. I don't feel my normal self. And then throughout our conversation, we actually broke it down, looked at what was going on for him, and put things in place for him to feel better and to feel clearer again. But he would have actually gone through his whole day like that without actually realizing until I had identified it for him. So if you know someone well enough, you can actually externalize what you can see they're internalizing and give them the option. Is there something I can do for you? Is there would you like to go for a walk? Is there anything I can get for you? Most of the time it'll be no, but that's okay, because by you saying that, they feel supported, which is going to do a lot for their own self-worth, their self-esteem, and the community that you're building with them, and the culture, if this is at work, right? That you've got each other's back. And also it's almost like leaving the door open. Well, if you need to talk to me, I'm here. Don't be a stranger. It's okay. We all feel like crap sometimes. It's as simple as that. And we all talk about, are you okay day, and making it a big thing. But for me, it's, how are you doing this every day? How are you ensuring that your team is okay, or checking in with them every day? And it could be the fact that you have team meetings, you have safety huddles or team huddles, and you can share something, or you can just say, oh, I was feeling a bit under the weather last week, but this week, I got this and this off my desk, and I could see that was really clogging up my brain power. And just externalize and share what you had been through. And as a leader, you start bringing other people out, but always come with a solution. Don't sit there in your pity party. Always come with a solution of how you got out of it, how you dealt with it. Oh, I spoke to X, Y, and Z, or I went for a run, or I wrote it down in a journal and it really cleared my head out. Share tools and techniques with them of what you do to move. And if you talk to someone, tell them you talk to someone. It's people learn by other people's behavior, because it's almost like, this is okay, this is normal. Everyone struggles, but everyone doesn't realize that everyone struggles at some point in their life, because we all shut it down. We don't talk about it. So by talking about it and normalizing it, actually gives that space of checking in, so that you are building that community, you are building that positive culture, and you are supporting your team in a way that they want to be supported. Now, I'm going to be very clear on this. It is not your job to fix them. It is not your job to solve their problem. That's their job. Your job is to ask them if there's anything that you can do for them, and be solution focused. That must be really hard. What are your options? What have you tried doing? What do you think you could try next? Would you like a hand with that? Be solution focused. Keep moving them down that pathway. Don't hold them back, and be in that situation where you're just talking about the event or what's actually going on. Actually get them to put one step in front. So what are your options right now? What have you tried doing? Is there anything I can do for you? Would you like to brainstorm other suggestions or other solutions? Ask them questions, so that it gets them out of their head of where they're stuck here, and gets them to move along the journey. So give that a go. See how you can check in with your team, with people at home, your friends, and how can you encourage them to speak up more? How can you get them to share what's going on for them, so that they can get the help and the support that they deserve and they need? It's simple. This takes consistency. If you've got any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Take care.